Welcome. My name is Sawyer I'm with VRAFY. I work more on the equipment and data side of everything. Today with me I've got Lauralee Eaton. She's on the agronomy team, so she handles more of the day-to-day operations of our agronomy side. So today we're going to go over VRAFY and here we go, and a little bit of an agenda that we're going through today. We'll go through an introduction to VRAFY, followed by what VRAFY needs for your success, how to get started with VRAFY, and then finally we'll wrap up with a live system demo here. So for the introduction to VRAFY, the number one thing to keep in mind is it integrates directly with John Deere Operations Center, so that means there's no new software to learn, you don't have a new username and password to try to remember. It integrates with both the web features that Op Center has as well as the mobile app. Another thing to keep in mind for VRAFY is that we are a service-based company, so it'd be easy for us to just hand over the software to you and say good luck, but we do focus on making sure that any soil data that you have available, we're the ones plugging that in, really making sure that your operation is set up for success with VRAFY. So we do have 3 different service levels based on your operational needs. So we've got VRAFY Basic, Plus, and Complete. Here in a second we'll go through a few of those offerings. So our first level here, our VRAFY Basic, the number one thing that we do as a company is we bring your soil data into Operations Center. So no matter if you've got current or past soil test data, we can ingest about anything. We're flexible to match your needs, so whether you're operating on grids or zones, we can import anything there. We do request that the soil data comes in either shapefile or Excel spreadsheet or CSV. So we also give you the opportunity to collect samples on your own operation, whether you wanted to use the Operations Center mobile app, or if you've got a Green Star display like a 4640, 2630, G5 universal kit, anything like that, we can push those flags into your display so that you can go out and soil sample using your Starfire receiver and display. So historically, soil data has always been printed out into a spreadsheet, kept in a binder, a lot of times put underneath the desk and forgotten about for a while. What we focus on is bringing that soil data into Op Center and making sure that you've got it with you wherever you go. So historically, you analyze your soil data, you look at soil test point 2, and you see that you've got a pH balance issue or you've got low phos in that area, but that's only soil test or soil point 2. And now if you're looking at it on the map, you can see that, oh yeah, that's that northeast corner of the field that always drags yield down. So it really helps you get that visual piece there. The next thing that VRAFY Basic adds to your Operations Center account is our satellite imagery. So we've got 3 unique layers that we're adding in for satellite imagery. We've got 2 vegetative index, the first of which is going to be NDVI, or the industry standard. The second one we've got is a secondary vegetative index, which might be more usable for scouting in season, able to pick up on a few smaller minute details that way. The final satellite imagery layer that we're providing is a PCD map, or a plant cell density. That is an indicator of biomass. So the first 2 vegetative indexes are showing how healthy plants are, whereas that final PCD map is showing you how many plants are in that area or how much biomass is present. So what really sets our satellite imagery apart from others in the industry is the fact that you can look at that satellite imagery on your phone and then immediately use that to generate a prescription. So whether you're sitting on the edge of the field in the sprayer, you look at the satellite imagery map, you've got some drown out areas, you're top dressing some 28%, you build yourself a script quick, send it to your display, and next thing you know, you're spraying within 5 minutes or so, I would say on average. So able to do it quickly and easily that way. The final thing is that we don't just date your satellite imagery starting today. We'll go back and backfill a year of satellite imagery for you, so that way you know how you're looking at it, you know already how to build a prescription using that imagery. You're not caught flat-footed in season. We make sure that you know how to use the tools that are going to be at your disposal. So the final thing with VRAFY Basic that we're bringing into Op Center is that we're building a formula-based automated crop removal prescription. So sounds fancy, but the effectiveness of it is that as soon as a yield layer comes into your Operations Center account, it loads into our software and converts that into a crop removal recommendation for common products such as MAP, DAP, and potash. Those prescriptions are then loaded into your field analyzer page. You can see those, side by side next to your yield map. They're going to look awfully similar. You can either choose to push that straight to a display that you've got connected on your operation, or you can download the shape files and send them to a local co-op to spread it. Anything along those lines, you've got the options, as they're, like I said, not only live in your field analyzer, but also in your files page. So. Next, we'll touch on what VRAFY Plus adds to your operation.
Yeah, so VRAFY Plus really creates more action items on what you're going to do with your soil test. So this is where you can make variable rate prescriptions based off of your soil tests. So the basic gets it into your op center, and then this is where you'll be able to create the prescriptions. So something like if we're running any lime formulas, or if you need to put sulfur on for pH, there's that option, and it has user-defined variables. So you're able to put on each specific lime, your ECCE, for that Corey, or if you're using a pill lime or a sugar beet lime, you're able to tailor that to what you need. The soil build one is just building your base saturation or your parts per million. Something cool that I've seen is the removal plus build. So once we have our yield map and op center, and then we have our soil tests, what we can do is replace that yield that we took off and then also build at the same time. So you don't have to choose between this or that, you can get both. Something that I really like, and it kind of sets VRAFY apart from the others, is our micronutrients formulas. We also do them on a parts per million, but we can also do the ratios. So if you want to build your boron to calcium ratio, 1 to 1,000, you can run that rec and see what it would look like. Or your phos to zinc, or your zinc to copper. Those are all built in just at VRAFY Plus. So pretty interesting there. Things like manure, seeding, and a couple other micronutrients are all just built into VRAFY Plus.
Yeah, we'll go through the complete library of formulas available on Plus here in the live demo.
And then at the end, the soil point to yield analysis, that's where we take yield, and then also your soil points, match them up, and you'll get that nice graph that Brian and Darren were showing in the middle of the day. So, yeah.
And then our final product offering, we've got VRAFY Complete. So that includes the professional agronomic support. So my agronomy team will work with you to generate a plan for each of your fields and each of the products that you do plan on applying. We can build management zones and utilize those as a yield potential map, so we can then fertilize for, say, nitrogen, for example, based off of a yield goal rather than historical yield. And then finally, within VRAFY Complete, we do also have some advanced seeding and nitrogen prescriptions available in there, as well as any customized formulas that you might need for your operation. So if you've got custom formula needs, that can be included in VRAFY Complete as well. So you might ask, what's the pricing? There's no way they can give that away for free, right? VRAFY Basic, like I said, that visual package where you've got the visibility into seeing everything and the ability to create prescriptions off that satellite imagery, that's all at $1 an acre. VRAFY Plus, where you get full access into that formula library as well as the SPY analysis reports, that's sitting at $2 an acre. And finally, with that agronomic support and the yield goal maps and that type of stuff is all complete with the VRAFY Complete at $4 an acre. So if you were to sign up today, your subscription would renew in exactly 1 year. My sales team would work with you to make sure that you're in the right solution for your operation. You can sign up either a whole farm or a partial farm. The only thing we do ask with that partial farm is that we do have a $500 minimum set up for that, just to make sure that you're trying it on more than just one field, for example. So how you hit that $500 minimum is completely up to you. If you wanted 500 acres of basic or 250 acres of plus, really pretty flexible in that direction. So, but what does VRAFY need for your success? So first and foremost, we're going to need an Operations Center partnership. Means we're here at the C&B event today. You've likely a good chance you've already got an Operations Center account. We would just send you the partnership request. You go into your team settings and approve that. From there, we do need field boundaries as well, because we need to be able to geospatially locate where that satellite imagery needs to come in and where that soil test data needs to be assigned to. Finally, we need the digital soil files. So as mentioned, please no PDFs. Any soil lab should be able to export your soil test results in either a CSV or a shapefile format. So, and then finally, we do need yield data in order for VRAFY to run. It's awfully hard to run a soil point to yield analysis if we're missing that yield factor. So, as well as crop removal recommendations, anything along those lines. So, how you can learn more about us? You can stop by VRAFY.com. You can give us a call at 507-800-0898, or feel free to scan the QR code if you've got additional questions. So, without further ado, we'll go into a live system demo here. So how this all looks in your Operations Center account, you can see here we've got sample IDs pulled up from a soil sampling event done on this field. If you wanted to look at the actual nutrient levels that are in there, the same way that currently you're navigating from your yield maps to your seeding maps to your application maps, in this drop-down menu, you'll also see the soil sampling as an event on this operation. So, also throughout the season, you do see the crop sensing maps, which are going to be your satellite imagery layers coming through, and then throughout the times when you generate those prescriptions, you'll also see those planning maps come through, as those are considered your RX plans. So, but if we jump back into the soil analysis, so like I said, currently we've got that sample ID pulled up. You can see the entire list of soil nutrients that were tested for here. If we roll down into the soil phosphorus, here we can see how that map looks up on the screen. We've got areas in the field that are, in this orange color, we've got anything from a 9 to an 11, anywhere in the low teens. But we also have some hot spots in the field, that green or blue spot at the bottom there showing 38. Really some good phosphorus variability across this field. So, any of your soil layers that come into Op Center, you'll see on the bottom here, there's a Create Formula RX button. Underneath that, you can see what your average phos levels, your minimum, your maximum, all of your soil nutrients are calculated on the bottom here. But if you hit this Create Formula RX button, it'll load you into a separate tab here, which will allow you to build prescriptions. So, as mentioned with VRAFY Plus, you get full access into this complete formula list. We've got everything categorized into separate groups depending on what sort of targets you have in mind for this prescription. We've got them categorized into, category 1 is our pH balance. Category 2, we've got our crop removal plus prescriptions, which will allow you to say, I wanted to do 80% of crop removal or 110% of crop removal if I wanted a little bit of build. Group 3 is going to be our crop removal plus build. So as Lauralee was saying, that's where you take that yield removal plus I want to build my soil to a certain level. Group 4 is if you wanted to just purely base your soil test or your prescription off your soil tests. We've also got Group 5 for any manure applications. 6 is going to be your zinc and sulfur applications. 7 is going to be your other micronutrients. In 8, we've got our nitrogen by potential, as well as in 9 is finally our seeding. So for the example today, like I said, we'll run through a crop removal plus build prescription. So if we wanted to build a corn removal plus build map on this one, and we're going to use DAP as our fertilizer source, you can see here, you just hit this checkbox and the formula is able to run at this point. If you wanted to customize it, say I wanted to target a certain parts per million build, in this right-hand side, you'll see variables and preferences. So to set your targets, you want to go into the variables side. If we load this out, here you can see that top factor is our yield adjustment. So like I said, if we wanted to do 80% of yield, we can do that there. If we want to do 110%, we plug that in. If we wanted to set our target parts per million, we do that here. So if we wanted to default that back to 30, Lauralee enter that for me. Now we're factoring in that we're targeting 30 parts per million on our build. You can also add or account for any corn stalk bales that were taken off the field. So if you calculate your tons per acre that were pulled off, as well as if you wanted a more aggressive prescription, you can set your build years down to 2. All of our formulas are optimized for a 4-year build program, so kind of coinciding with the standard 4-year rotation on soil sampling. Finally, you can select the year of soil or of yield data that you wanted to use. So if you wanted to base this off of 2022's yield data, you can do that. If you wanted to average the two between 2024 and 2022, you can also choose both seasons, and it picks the average for each 60-foot pixel. So now that we've got all of our variables selected, we can run into that Preferences tab. And inside your preferences is where you can set your minimum rate, your maximum rates, anything along those lines. We'll delete out this average rate for now. You can also assign a cost per pound of product. So if you know that, that your DAP is $600 a ton, you punch in that it's costing you 30 cents a pound. You hit done on that. And now if we scroll down and create this formula RX, you'll see it loads in 5 to 10 seconds. And then it gives you the essentially the report as to, not only it's prescribing this, but also why. So if we load this zone information, it categorizes everything into 8 separate zones. If we looked at zone 6 here, for example, we're covering 22.6 acres with zone 6. We're prescribing 260 pounds of DAP. And the reasoning why is that our average parts per million in that zone is going to be 18.16. Our average yield in that zone is 189 bushels, and that application is going to cost you $78.12 per acre in that zone. Along the bottom, there's also a summary that shows you, total rates prescribed. So this entire prescription is going to be 251 pounds to the acre, and it's going to cost you on average, or it's going to cost you $75.35 an acre, or a total of $5,800. So brings that all in, available to you right here. You can see you're going to need just shy of 10 ton of fertilizer. So once you build this script, you can download the shapefile right here. You can also download the report that you probably need to send to your fertilizer dealer. They like to see how many total ton that you're applying, as well as you can go through the Work Planner tab. If you're utilizing Work Planner on your operation currently, you can actually create a work plan based off this and send it straight to a machine. Or if you're not utilizing Work Planner at this point, you can actually send the shape files directly to a display. So that dates back to 2630s and newer John Deere displays. So.
The nice part is if you're making a phosphorus rec, a lot of times we count hog manure plays a big role in it. What we can do is do a flat credit for let's say if you put on, let's say we did 8,000 pounds or 8,000 gallons, and we could credit it. You have to change it into the product you're applying, so you have to change it into DAP. But after that, it's a quick conversion, and then you could credit let's say it was actually 100 pounds of DAP. Then you could credit it that way and run it. So you can look at your crop needs and your build, and then put on your manure, and then fill to that gap to get where your goal is. So that's kind of the nice part about VRAFY is you can tailor that recommendation to what you need for your farm.
Yep. Another thing you can do if you if you have budgeted for a little bit higher rate than that or a little bit lower rate, you can actually set a determined average rate. So. Let's say you like this map, but you only had budgeted for 225 pounds to the acre going out. If you scroll up back into that preferences list, you can actually set your average rate right here. If Lauralee wants to set that to 225 for me. And hit done. We'll scroll back down, create the prescription, and now we're going to see that same map, but instead of averaging 250, we're going to average 225. So still capturing all that same variability throughout the field, but more suited to your needs. How you can get started today. So if you go to VRAFY.com, we've got some good resources available here. If you were looking to get started, there's the Get Started Today button that's kind of right front and center there. If you're curious about some more of the services and features, we've got an option here as well. Kind of labels out our basic, plus, and complete packages for you. If you're interested in reading some of our blog posts or the events that we're going to be attending, we do have a news and events tab there. Under Contact Us, you can actually set up a, whether you wanted to do a video call with one of the sales guys, you wanted to do an agronomy support call if you're an existing customer, anything along those lines, you can set up a meeting here. If you're just interested in, if you're signed up and you wanted to kind of have a walkthrough on how some of the processes work, we do also have a knowledge base that's up here in the top corner. So this is going to allow you to, go through a step-by-step process on how I can, this top one is creating a prescription using satellite imagery. You click on that article and it walks you through step by step. You click analysis, go down to the drop-down menu, select your soil sample or select your satellite imagery map that you want to use. It shows you what the layers are. Creating the prescription, so you can see the manual RX button there. You assign your own rate per zone, kind of down here.
Sawyer and I click through it really fast because we do it every day, so it's nice to see a slowed down, you pace it version.
Yeah, like I said, there is 21 steps in that process. So nice. Like I said, I can click through it awfully quickly, but like I said, we've got the availability for you guys to be able to see what we're doing.